3, 2, 1. All right, we're live here at CAMX. Now I got the background music going, so that sounds even better. Welcome back to CAMX Day 1, CAMX 2023. I have Keith Tellman of Vibrantz Technologies joining me today. Happy to have Keith on board. They are located at booth X36. And that's where you can find them. We'll pull up their website here in a second. Before we get started with Keith, though, I just want to make some, if you're here at the show, if you're listening via streaming on LinkedIn or any of the other platforms, just to give you, everyone's probably got a schedule at a glance. We got the CAMX coming up at 12 o'clock today. There is the CAMX Award winner presentations. And that's over at Exhibit Hall, the GWCC-C Exhibit Hall Level 1. Then there's that's from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. So if you want to go to or attend the award presentations, that will be fantastic. We've already had one nominee that's joined us earlier doing for our first interview today. And but I'm happy to have Keith joining me. Just to give it a little background on, let me pull up your information. And you can correct me, Keith, if I've got any of this wrong. Vibrantz has a 300-year combined legacy of innovation and advanced materials, color solutions, and performance coatings. Core competencies, in particular engineering, color technology, glass, and ceramic science, have made them a standalone leader in specialty chemicals and material solutions. So that's a pretty good summary, right?
Yep.
So Keith, thanks a lot, man.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And what is your title with Vibrantz?
So I'm a technical service representative.
Okay. All right.
So that makes me work in the lab and also work with customers.
Oh, okay. So how much time you spend in the lab?
Probably about 40% of my time is in the lab.
Oh, okay. That's a lot for a guy that's, of course, do you work directly with customers more, or is it you're the technical guy that comes in after your salespeople have
funny enough, I would say more likely I'm the initial contact and the salesperson comes in later.
Later, okay.
Because they're like, oh, look at that.
Look at that. Oh, you brought the business
coming. Thank you so much. So I do a lot of talking to the technical team at the customers.
Mm-hmm.
So if they have a custom color that they want, they have any questions about colorants, I do a lot of training for color.
Okay.
We also do thickeners and inhibitors. And so with my background in plastics, I'm able to help them figure out how to use it, what to use it, and go to molding trials and make sure everything works good.
Right.
We do everything from
pigments so you guys obviously in the coating industry.
Yep.
Ceramics.
Yep.
Kind of give us I know I kind of gave an overview of the company, but from your standpoint, just kind of give us a little broad summary of the company and some of the industries, because you guys are all over the place. You're in chemical dispersants. Yep. Do you guys make the dispersants that go into the coatings, or?
So on my business unit, there's 3 business units of Vibrantz.
Okay.
We do the color dispersions and pigments.
Okay.
And so at my facility in particular, Ashtabula, Ohio, up by Cleveland.
Right.
Snowbelt. And they're getting snow, as a matter of fact, I think right now. So we take pigments, sometimes internally sourced, sometimes externally sourced, and we disperse them into a carrier that is compatible with our customer system.
Okay. All right.
And we also manufacture dry pigments,
a
lot of inorganics and CICPs, which are complex inorganic pigments. They weather very well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have 2 other divisions that are new to myself. There is performance coatings, and they do glass and ceramic coatings. For example, the automotive glass that you get on your front windshield with all of the wires and stuff built in.
Right.
That's more than likely a Vibrantz.
Oh,
type
okay.
coating.
All right.
And then we have an advanced materials section, and they deal with all kinds of different minerals and different additives.
Mm-hmm.
They deal with a type of manganese that goes into lithium ion batteries, for instance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was actually going to be a question because I spent some time on your website. I was looking up some of the news. You're doing the scales up high purity magnesium sulfate for the lithium ion batteries. That's a huge, that's a big market. For you guys, right?
Yeah. And
opportunity, at least.
It's kind of interesting, that independently, the 3 business units now are actually becoming quite involved with electric vehicles.
Yeah.
In the future, not only are we supplying materials to the batteries, we have performance coatings that go into the cars, the electric vehicle cars, and now our paints and the plastics that go into it. And we're actually working now to help make the battery boxes more flame retardant.
Ah, okay.
Things like that.
Okay.
So,
wow. Yeah, because that's an issue. You've
yes.
seen some of the news lately with some fire. Obviously they're working to make batteries that are lighter. On the, I guess that's the goal, is to make these batteries lighter, and then you guys are helping to make the casings more fire resistant. For safety reasons. That's great. So how is that pretty recent that you've been involved in that sector? Or
that is something our customers started coming to us with, as in, they were already going to put pigment dispersions into the materials they were selling for that.
Okay.
And then started asking questions like, with the pigment, can you kind of provide some additives to that? And that's things that we're looking at now, whether that's graphite or even nanomaterials, such as carbon nanotubes and single layer graphene.
Okay, yeah.
So,
a lot of talk about graphene.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's the wonder material, right?
It is. It is. As long as you use it correctly.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's so. Tell what your role. Obviously, you guys are based out of. Is it? You mentioned Cleveland. Is that is that where you are? Or is that the headquarters of the company as well?
So that's where I am, and that's kind of where Color Solutions is headquarters.
Okay.
Vibrantz headquarters is actually in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
So the extreme opposite end of the weather.
I see. And you were telling me at the beginning, so I didn't know this, but your company has recently purchased. Is it a purchase or a merger?
So it's a merger. So our capital venture is American Securities, and they owned ChromaFlow, which is where my historical background is.
Okay.
And Prince Minerals. Prince Minerals purchased ferro pigments, and then American Securities made Vibrantz out of that.
I see. Okay.
About a year and a half ago.
Okay. So in terms of business, do you spend more time working with, I would think that you're working with a lot of the companies that are manufacturing, is it gel coat? Do you work with gel coat companies out there that are needing colors? Or okay.
Gel coats, epoxies, such as especially like high chemical resistant things that go into laboratories.
Right.
Then we do polyurethane foams, both flexible and rigid.
Really? Okay.
I know one of our customers for that, for instance, makes soles for boots.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Military use.
Yeah.
So they have very tight color tolerances for that.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I do a lot of things with thermoset composites, ranging from anything from automotive applications to tactile panels, which are those little things on the corners that help vision impaired people know they're at the corner of their intersection.
Oh.
So I get into a little bit of everything.
Sure.
So you can kind of walk down the street and go, there's a little bit of color from me. There's a little bit of color from me.
And by the way, you're a large company. I noticed you've 65 manufacturing sites worldwide. 5,000 employees, so pretty large organization.
It is.
How big's your team at the show?
There is 6 of us at the show here.
Okay.
So it's my boss's boss, the technical manager of Color Solutions in the Americas.
Right.
and the commercial lead, and some technical sales or some sales managers here.
Okay. Can you give us any? What's the news on the digital inks?
So that's not particularly a subject of expertise.
Okay.
But
all right.
We do a lot of colorants,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of interesting when you get into paints and you get into inks and things like that.
Yeah.
You make a highly concentrated pigment dispersion that they call colorant. And so those colorants will go into machines that will take different colorants and mix them to get your finished thing. So if you ever go into Home Depot or Lowe's and you go, hey, this is the swatch on my couch, I want it matched.
Okay.
We actually have software that will match it, take it to the sends that information to the machine, and it takes the colorants and puts it into a base.
Okay. And I'm sure that there's no color you can't match out there, right?
I have matched so many colors. It's interesting. One of our favorite matches that I've been through is we had a company that was making prosthetics, so we had to match different flesh tones.
Okay.
And so we actually have a foot that they sent us to match that we put on prominent display.
Right. So what kind of when you match a color like that, typically from a customer that comes to you and say, I need something that's out of the ordinary type color, are you able to match that off of just a dry sample, or is it?
Yep.
Do you need more than that, or
no? The best way for us to match it is to, if you can give us the finished product or something related to it.
Yeah.
We have one of our core tools is called the spectrophotometer.
Yep.
And so basically that's going to tell you not only what the color is, but it's going to kind of give you an idea of the chemistry due to the spectra that it has.
Right. Fantastic. Keith, that's fantastic. Thanks for stopping by. What's your impression so far of CAMX? I know you just got here, but
it's been very good. I've been actually very busy at the booth. People coming by and talking, new opportunities and stuff like that. And I'm really looking forward to the rest of the program. Yeah. And I'm even moderating a session this afternoon. So
fantastic. What's it on?
It is on non-destructive testing.
Okay.
And it'll be in C109.
Okay. Don't forget your notes on that one.
I know.
I'm just kidding. Keith, thanks so much for coming by. Again, our listeners can find, I want to everybody, booth X36 is where they're located. Vibrantz.com is where you can find them online. And we'll be streaming this and sharing this on LinkedIn and some of the other platforms as well. Keith, thanks for spending some time. Yeah, absolutely. It's great to get this out. I guess you guys will be here till Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And hope you all have a great show. Best of success.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was painless.
Yeah.